What's up, our Canadian homies? Welcome to episode 149 of Canada Got Soul with your boy, myself, Jay Lowe's, the boy with the 3 stripes from the 514.
God damn, that was okay. Damn, I wasn't ready for that. What's going on, everyone? And welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins, and I am joined by the rest of the quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Hello, hello.
Mr. Alvin Martinez.
Yo.
And he kind of introduced himself.
Bonjour.
He kind of introduced himself already, but
What is up?
but he has to get his own anyways. For the second week in a row, we're joined by a damn fine Montrealer. If I had a penny for every dope photo he's taken, I'd have almost $1. When it comes to kicks, it's usually 3 stripes on his toes. Give it up for my more handsome brother. That's Mr. J. Lowe's.
What's up, guys?
Hey.
Jay, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. As we mentioned on Stacks, you left work early just to do the podcast. I hope your boss isn't listening to this, but if it is actually, he left work for the excuse he gave you, not for a podcast.
Funny thing is, my boss is my father, so he will hear this for sure. However, I did have work to do before this, like homework, so you know what? It all worked out.
My boss is my
father.
father.
Thank you to Senior Lowe's for allowing Junior Lowe's to come through.
Thanks, Pops.
This may be the first time we've ever had to have a guest get parental consent before they could come on the podcast. We've got a fantastic show this week. We have even bigger news than last week to share with you, along with a new subline for Under Armour. After that, a listener has a double EEE, maybe the first ever double EEE. And then we get to the bottom of if it's Manuel or Manual, the question that's been begging the world for weeks now. Then Jay joins us for the first time and as such gets to play 21 questions. And also, Alvin,
how much is that?
Then we get to know a little bit more about what got him into the sneaker game, where the Adidas addiction comes from, and how he takes all those gorgeous sneaker photos. But first, Joel.
Whoosh. Fire round.
Yes, the fire round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners. And this week's question comes from Zach James. Very good friend of the show. And he wants to know, we all remember our first pair of sneakers, but what do you wish was your first pair of sneakers? And this is an interesting one because in hindsight, most of our first pairs of sneakers are probably shit, which is understandable and it's okay. Unless somebody has a really cool story and then I hate you. But maybe we'll add to that the precursor of what was your first pair of sneakers? Oh, Jay has his first pair with him. Okay. So this is not shit. We'll get to that in a minute. So we'll start with what was your first pair of sneakers. We'll go around the table and then we'll do what you wish your first pair was, just to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. So Alvin, what was your first pair of sneakers? When you started being like, I'm collecting sneakers, what was your first pair?
It was the Black Cat Air Jordan 4s / the Cardinal 7s, because I believe they both came out around the same time. I can't remember which one first, but it was one of the two that were my first.
Those are pretty good ones. I'm okay with those pairs being your first. Joel, what was your first pair?
My very first pair was the I like to say the history of Air Max 90 infrared.
Oh damn! Everyone has a good pair. I'm upset now.
And the pair I wanted was that pair. So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I got
my first, like I got a pair of like black Air Forces when I started working at Foot Locker. Like not triple black, it was like black with like Volt. when I first started to work at Foot Locker as like a work shoe, because I didn't have literally any other shoe I could wear to work at Foot Locker. And my first pair that I bought when I started at Foot Locker was some random ass pair of like white and green Air Forces. It was like white with like green lining. It was some weird ass, like, I don't think I have them anymore. I highly doubt I have them anymore. And that would have been in like 08 or 09, like time ago. Jay, what was your first pair when you started saying, I'm collecting sneakers now?
So it wasn't that long ago, but it was the triple black ZX Flux Xeno. I don't have these anymore because back in the time I thought I was a size 10, so they were way too big for me. But yeah, I got them at a warehouse sale I was working at. I used to work for Reebok at the time, and they had a bunch of Adidas stuff too, since it's like sister brands. Yeah, I picked those up for $3.99 as a gift, and yeah, I wore them for a bit until I realized, yo, I'm a size 9, and I had to get rid of them. But yeah, I got blessed. I ended up getting blessed with the white and black pair in my size, so that really worked out well.
Is that, we'll start then with Jay. What do you wish was your first pair? Is it that one there? Do you wish that was your first pair?
So right now, thinking about it, I'm really happy with what my first pair was. However, at the time, it was when Boost was becoming really popular. And as a 17-year-old at the time, I was just really interested in Boost and Ultra Boost. And that's all I was looking for in the warehouse sale. So I think, in a sense, I wish my first pair would have been an Ultra Boost, but it ended up being the ZX Flux, which I'm super okay with.
That's fair enough. We'll go back down, reverse order. Joel, what do you wish your first pair was?
My very first pair, the black and red Jordan 1s.
Brad Jordan 1s. But how do you go? Yeah. How do you go from there? If that's your first pair, then that you've already peaked. How do you go anywhere from there?
I don't know. It's because my dad had the AJKOs, and I wanted to wear them, and he just wouldn't let me wear them. So ever since then, that whole black and red was always stuck in my head. Like, I need these fucking shoes. You know what I mean? So yeah.
You know what you do in that case? You ask Warren Lotas to mix it up.
There you go.
Oh, this guy.
Oh God, we've already had a Warren Lotus mentioning, and it's only been 5.5 minutes of the podcast. Alvin, what do you wish your first pair was?
I think for me, what I really wanted at the time when those dropped was a pair of 3s, just because prior to me purchasing those Jordans, I was looking at my like old baby pictures and like when I was younger at that time or whatever, and my parents had purchased or put me in like some toddler 3s from back in the day, and then I kept looking at pictures, and then I also saw like a pair of Aqua 8s that they put me in when I was younger too, and like that's pretty much what got me like into, you know, I mean obviously Jordan because I'm a huge Jordan fan, but like seeing those pictures and seeing that my parents like swagged me out back in the day kind of made me want to just have a few pairs like just for nostalgia purposes, you know. So
absolutely,
that's a nice story.
For me, it's actually similar to yours. Like when I first started working at Foot Locker, the first shoe that was like my grail was the Aqua 8. Like I don't even remember how it turned out to be. Like I really want a pair of Aqua 8s, but it was Aqua 8s, and I did end up getting a pair. That's back when, like, before StockX, before all this shit. I think I ended up getting them from Flight Club, like, way back, like, online kind of thing for, like, some stupid amount of money back then. But, yeah, so that was, like, probably one of the first pairs I paid resale for. Definitely my first grail. So, like, in hindsight, I probably wish that was my first pair. But yeah, that would probably change depending on the day. But that was a cool question. I like that from Zach James. Thank you for that question. If you would like to submit a question for the Fire Round and have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canadagotsoul@gmail.com. Next up, the CGS picks. Each week, we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Alvin's trademark phrase.
C'est très joli.
There it is. We knew that was coming. It had to be. All right, so as we do, for no reason whatsoever, I will go first. And my pick this week, it seems like all of us are sucking up to our guest, who is a big Adidas fan. But my pick this week is an Adidas shoe. It is the Adidas Ultra 4D in collaboration with Social Status, the Mona Lisa. So these are really, really cool. If you haven't seen the Ultra 4D, it essentially, to me, it's an Ultra Boost, but with a 4D sole, which is the 3D printed Adidas sole. But the upper is inspired by the obviously famous Mona Lisa painting painted by Leonardo da Vinci. And it has essentially like the earth tone. So you've got like a deep reddish, like, I don't know what you're going to call it, maroon burgundy on the heel, vachetta tan cage and middle, and like khaki / army green toe, along with the typical like mint green 4D outsole, and then a gum sole with white laces. Just like all this together is like super clean, really well executed shoe. It doesn't have to always be flashy. Like, these are insane, really well done. I love the theming. I love the inspiration. They are going to be limited to only 3,020 pairs. They're in celebration of Social Status opening or relaunching, I guess, their web store. So take a look there if you're interested. They dropped yesterday when you're listening to this, so let us know if you picked up a pair. The website, if you're interested in checking it out, though, Social Status PGH is the website, the new website that they're launching. So yeah, really cool shoe. I'm gonna call them a cute because their 4D is not cheap still. I'm assuming it'll still be a couple of years before the price comes down on the 4D models, but super cute. C'est très joli. I like this shoe a lot. Joel, what do you got for us?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. If you got some thoughts, Jay, please give us the Adidas insight.
Yeah, that shoe is actually such an aesthetically pleasing shoe. It's like what a crazy thing to create to relaunch their website. You know, they could have just done just a plain old shoe, but no, we want an Ultra 4D with a Mona Lisa on it. Like, it's not that often you see colors from a painting onto a shoe like that. So well executed. As it's marvelous. That's all I can say about it.
It's beautiful.
It's not something I'd cop. However, I'm leaving my my sneaker funding to ZX, but what a wonderful shoe.
Yeah, a great shoe. It seems like one of those shoes that may fly under the radar, and may kind of stay low in the resale market for a while and maybe pick up a little bit down the line. It seems like one of those kinds of shoes that's really well done and people just really sleep on it because it's not like boom in your face. I like it. It's crazy shoe.
And also, like, about the price point, you said you wanted to or have 4D come lower. There's been actually a big improvement on price point. Like, just the regular Alpha Edge 4D used to retail for about like $450, and now they're down to like $275 or $250, I think. Because realistically, people are not going to buy a shoe for that much money unless it's like a resale price or something. I think Adidas realized that quite quickly and dropped down their prices, but I don't know how lower they will get. But it'd be fun to see some like a lower end 4D.
Oh, absolutely. It would be really cool to see like an entry level like 4D sneaker with minimal tech aside from the 4D. I think that's something, I'm assuming that's something we'll see, like similar to what they did with Boost and Alpha Bounce and everything. They'll make like the lower, quote unquote, lower tier of the model so that everyone can get their hands on it. It's smart. It's how you do it.
Yeah, kind of like a similar thing with like Boost glides, like the ones with like just a little bit of boost in the midsole.
Yeah,
have that with like 4D. That would be like an interesting entry point too.
Just enough so that people get used to it and understand it, so they will be willing to spend the higher price point on a full pair. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and on another note, 4D super good for running. Most shoes. The Run 1.0. Self plug to Adidas here, but my mom actually has foot problems, and like she could not find a shoe or insoles that would like help it. And I bought her these for her birthday, and that's all she wears. She wants more pairs. She's like, these are the best, and she actually uses them for like running and walking. And personally, I was really surprised because she also has Ultra Boost, and she likes them way more than Ultra Boost.
Really? I've heard glowing things about 4D. I've tried them on. I've never actually run or walked in them like for a long period of time, but I've heard very good things about 4D. So it may be worth investing. Absolutely.
It takes a lot to break them in, though. I have to admit.
Definitely could see that. Joel, what do you got for us this week?
All right, so what I got is the Juju Smith-Schuster by Adidas Ultra Boost 2.0 DNA High School PEs. That was a long one, bro.
That was a very long name. I hope they don't put that whole thing on the box.
But yeah, so for those that don't know, Juju Smith, he's a wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Boo. But yeah, so his high school that he went to was Long Beach Poly, and apparently this high school has been pumping out athletes, actors, actresses, like famous, like alumni. The alumni list so far is like, you got Nate Dogg, you have like Snoop Dogg, have like Cameron Diaz, you have Tony Gwynn, like like popular famous people went to this high school. So to commemorate, like, I guess they're doing like a high school PEs, but man, they blew it out of the park with this one. It's their high school colors in it's like an emerald green and like a forest green actually. On the Prime Knit, it's the way that they mix the colors with the light green and the forest green it just flows perfectly. You got the gold on the cage, on the outer cage of the 3 stripes. It's on top of a white midsole, a white boost sole, white Continental rubber underlying it underneath. But man, it's a pretty clean and simple shoe. But yeah, man, take a look. December 9th is when they drop. 180 US, which is probably like, I don't know, 500 Canadian or something like that. But yeah.
The whole DNA line that they're doing is sick. It's so cool. Yeah.
Crazy, man.
That Terry Fox Ultra Boost DNA. Oh my god, it's so cool.
Man.
So cool.
I haven't even seen those.
It makes so much sense too. That they're making that Terry Fox Ultra Boost.
Absolutely.
Pumping up the Terry Fox collection. Like what's perfect timing.
Yeah, 100%. I love good. Alvin, what do you got for us this week?
I got Mr. Sean Wotherspoon's Super Earth ZX 8000.
Yeah, we really sucked up with the Adidas stuff this week.
But yo, okay, so I know he released the Superstars. But, like, these are way better than the fucking Superstars. At least in my opinion. Like, man, so the whole thing about Super Earth, he's trying to use, like, you know, earth-friendly, earth-conscious materials, just to help with, you know, all the pollution. But, like, man, the way he did it on these is stupid, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like, so he had on the Superstar, he had like the stitched flowers on there that were, I guess, drawn on, and then they stitched over it. That's on here as well. But then you also have like that. There's like plaid or like some sort of plaid on here too. Like both shoes are different. It's crazy. On the right foot, from what I can see, on the inner panel, you got like a bunch of Adidas Originals logos just.
It's printed on there, like boom, boom,
all over the place.
Like it's crazy, bro. And then the toe box looks like it's like a burlap sack.
Yeah,
like that kind of color, and it's just like, man, the way he just. I don't know. I know we talked about these before, but these are cool, man. The release date is rumored to be 2020. No price point, but I would assume the price point is fairly high because it is a Sean Wotherspoon sneaker, and I would say, for me anyway, these are a scoop, man. Like, I like how we did these.
Yeah, those are rumored for February 2021, and I'm actually really happy you brought these up because I kind of wanted to talk about the Superstar. So you guys know, like, the infamous, like, dangling threads from the flowers.
Yeah.
There was never, like, a real interpretation of this, like, why this was there. But, like, the way I thought about it was how it's a shoe that's, you know, for the planet Earth, and as humans, in a sense, we are the roots to this planet. Like, we can control the complete future of what happens. And so the more you wear the shoe, these little threads are dangling around and you keep stepping on them, and at some point they're going to rip off. And that's kind of like a symbol saying, or like a metaphor, that if we just step over the earth, do not care about it, we're going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And like I found out like a pretty cool analysis of the shoe and why he did that. And I think it's going to be a little bit similar with the ZX 8000. I didn't see if there was any tangling threads, but as weird as it is, I think it was a pretty cool idea.
Damn. Jay is just dropping bombs on Stacks and here. This is fantastic. The only thing I'm hoping, I know Jay mentioned that it's rumored February 2021, and it seems like that's around the time that the whole A to ZX thing is going to be wrapping up. I hope that that's not the last pair. I hope that they go more of like the history over hype situation. I'm not obviously not super into Adidas to know what a historic ZX would be, but just some sort of like symbolic release would be cooler to me than something that's like the biggest hype grab, which would be obviously the Sean Wotherspoon. Like, yeah, we're wrapping it up with Sean Wotherspoon. Yeah. Like, it's the easy, it's the cop out, it's this probably the smart thing to do marketing wise, but just for the whole like bringing back the A to ZX thing and doing it properly, I think it would be really cool to end it off with something very like historic or culturally relevant. I think personally would be cool.
Yeah, big facts. Do you guys know what the ZX 8000 Hanami is?
No.
Like those pink joints that released at the beginning of the year?
Yes.
Yeah. I love those.
This should, like exactly what you were saying, Lawrence, this is based pure on history. It's not a collab. It's a GR with a great story, great packaging, everything. That should have been the last AZX. That would have been a banger to leave on.
Yeah, agreed.
The passion that Jay has is very satisfying. Jay, you mentioned, so we're allowing this. He's kind of bending the rules with his pick this week. It's the same pick that Alvin had last week, but because he's our esteemed guest and because he knows a lot more about Adidas than we do, we're going to let him go at it because he says he has some cool insight about this pair as well. So Jay, give us the juice.
Okay, so yeah, the 6000, or should I say actually the XZ 0006, like they themed it inside out. It's dropping yesterday by the time you're listening to this at 10 a.m., so December 4th. And like the first time you look at the shoe, well, for me anyways, I was like, what the hell is happening here? I was confused, excited, worried. A whole bunch of feelings came from just this random shoe. And I didn't know how to categorize it at first. Like, do I like it? Do I hate it? But my opinion went to it like, this is my favorite AZX so far. And truth be told, for most of the ZX that came out so far, I talked so much shit about them in my group chat with my friends at first, and then I ended up buying them. You know, this is the only one that I like right off the bat. I'm like, yo, this is sick. And it's kind of sucks because there's not that much information about it. And I feel like ZX is a range, especially for AZX, compared to like the one in 2008. There's just knowledge bombs, like great execution, storytelling. And this year they're a little bit lacking this. But I think it's kind of like the read between the lines. So if you look at the shoe to begin with, X-Ray, X for the letter X and AZX, there's nothing related to a shop, a brand. It's just straight Adidas creators who made this. So that's kind of like something to think about at first. Like, why would they not include like an external brand like the other pairs? But then you have also Inside Out. Like, why also call it Inside Out? Then that got me thinking too. You know, when you tell someone you love them, you're like, Lawrence, I love you for who you are on the inside, your personality, how you look on the outside.
Doesn't matter.
You tell that to the people you love. And I think that's like what Adidas is like secretly trying to do in here. So it's like, it's not a shoe for the faint-hearted. It's deconstructed. It's basically inside out, and it's just super funky, and people are not ready for it. However, I think the real ZX fans, like you guys, me, Alex, all the like some of the guys in Europe, they're gonna go crazy about this shoe because one, it's a ZX 6000, and this is gonna be the fourth colorway of this shoe. And in Europe, it's arguable that they like the ZX 6000 more than the 8000. I know they were really excited for that OG to come back, and a lot of people would actually soul swap their pair from 1989 to like a newer Soul because they liked it so much. And there has not seen that much like daylight. And the fact that this is a 6000 instead of an 8000 says a lot, because it's in a way not a popular model, but it's a really loved model. So I think Adidas is also targeting like their real audience for ZX with this shoe. And that's why I think it's not a company or anything that gets the X spot. So yeah, like I would actually like to think what you guys think about this, or hear what you guys think about this.
The only thing I gotta say about that to the other guys on the podcast is I love having fucking Adidas mans on the podcast because they're all so goddamn passionate. And I don't know if it's because they're all friends and they just feed off each other, but this is like, I just love like the insight they provide and like the passion they have for the brand. Just that's my side note. I love that idea. Yeah. I don't know if it's that or it's literally there's no shops that start with X, but either way, they're both cool.
Yeah, well, there is Exhibition.
There you go.
Exhibition in the States.
Oh, true.
That's the only one I can think of. And it is true that in 2008, the X was related to Z. So it was like ZX 2-in-1. They didn't have an X letter back then either. So it could be hard to find that. And yeah, what I said is completely based on what I think. My theory, it's not facts at all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just a dope shoe, and I'm probably going to have to pay retail for it. But yeah, it is what it is.
Oh no, he has to pay retail for it. Oh no.
I'm completely okay with it.
Yeah. All right.
It's not in the $3.99 bin.
Yeah, exactly. It's not in the donation bin.
The price tag is kind of higher than. The price tag though is higher than what it usually is. $185 for a non-collab. Like the Babe Times Undefeated was $180. For just like a legendary collaboration that's been going on for like so many years. It was a little bit weird to see it higher than 160, but
they're trying to tell us something.
They're trying to acquire their real ZX heads.
Huh.
Yeah.
I like it. I like your reasoning for liking it more than Alvin's reason for liking it last week. I'll tell you that.
Me too.
All right. Next up, This Week in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And so last week, we didn't tease. We got excited about some news. And that news was the fact that the countdown was starting. And we said last week it was the biggest news we had all year. We were jacked up, hyped up, whatever you want to call it. This week, we have even bigger news than last week. Even bigger news. And we are incredibly excited. So last week, we shared, obviously, that the countdown was starting. As you all know, we did the Ronald McDonald House charity fundraiser. The sidebar that I want to throw in is that we raised over 3,000 Canadian dollars in 3 days.
Ooh.
Our goal was $2,000 for 31 days, and we raised $3,000 in 2.5 days. So thank you to everyone who has supported so far. Thank you to everyone who's posted, reposted, donated, posted a pair of shoes, sent a message, whatever. All of it is equally as appreciated. So that's just a sidebar. So this week we're able to share a little bit more about something that we teased last week, and that's that we have a brand partnership to announce for part of the CGS to 2021 countdown. So we're excited to announce first of all that we have our first bonus days coming up. And those bonus days are going to be next weekend. So not the day you're listening to this, but December 12th and 13th. And as a reminder, bonus days are when we give you a theme. And if you follow it, you get an extra entry on top of your regular entry. So if you were to post on the Saturday the 13th and not follow any rules, you still get your entry. But if you follow our rule, you get an extra entry. You're doubling your entries. You get 2 entries for that day. But there's more. That's not the only news we have. Next weekend's bonus is sponsored by our good friends at Foot Locker Canada and Adidas Canada. I hope you all see.
Let's go.
I hope you all see where this is going. So, In line with Adidas' yearly celebration of Boost Week, we are hosting the CGS to 2021 Boost Weekend. Yes, that's right. We got that. It's not trademarked, but it might as well be. Meaning, all you need to do is wear any pair of Adidas Boost sneakers, and you will receive 2 additional entries into our end-of-month prize drawing. So that's the 12th and the 13th. Wear a Boost sneaker on the 12th, get an extra bonus. Wear a Boost sneaker on the 13th, get an extra bonus. But there is still more. We're not done. What? I know. It's crazy. How can there be more? But there is. Everyone, in my rundown, I wrote this part all in capitals because I'm so excited about it. Everyone who participates in Boost Weekend is entered to win one of not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5. One of 5 $200 Foot Locker Canada gift cards. Yes, that is correct. Wear a pair of Boost sneakers, which is the easiest task in the entire world. Post it on your Instagram. Hashtag, no extra hashtags, no extra ats, just CGS to 2021. And every entry will get you entered into a draw to win one of 5 $200 Foot Locker Canada gift cards.
Der Samp, yes.
Der Samp. For all of our Quebecers. Der Samp. So,
I have a question.
Yes.
So every recent ZX has Boost in it. Does this count?
I'm glad you brought that up, Jay, because I asked. I know I don't have a lot of Adidas knowledge, but I know that. And I asked my friends at Adidas, and I said, someone's going to ask. And they already did. Someone's going to ask. And he said, it's Boost Week. It has Boost in it. Go for it. That's it.
Let's go.
So you can wear any sneaker with Boost anywhere inside of it. Any Adidas Boost sneaker. And we also have a couple of pairs of sneakers for a couple of friends of the show. So if we reached out to you, this is your warning. And there's somebody here who we did reach out to. This is your warning.
Warning.
Keep an eye on your mailbox because there may be something coming for you. But that also means you cannot win a $200 gift card. Anyways. Thank you, Foot Locker Canada. Thank you, Adidas Canada. This is going to be dope. We're going to blow it up. It's going to be super fun. We appreciate it. That's for anyone who doesn't know basic math. 5 $200 gift cards is $1,000 we're giving away in 2 days. For anyone, all you have to do is wear a Boost sneaker. So it's very simple. And it's going to be a virtual gift card. You're going to have it instantly. Probably Monday morning, it'll be in your inbox if you win. Easy peasy. Woo. So, once again, thank you, Foot Locker Canada and Adidas Canada, for that. Yeah. It's hard to follow that up, but I'm going to try. So, Under Armour is expanding their lineup. This week, Under Armour announced that they're taking their partnership with Steph Curry to one step further by giving him his own standalone sub-brand with the Under Armour Curry family called Curry Brand. It's going to feature footwear, apparel, accessories, and it's backed by Under Armour's performance product innovations. But the real exciting thing, to me at least, is beyond the product. So a percentage of Curry Brand's yearly revenue will be reinvested into under-resourced communities. The goal is that by 2025, which is 4 years from now, the Curry Brand will have created at least 20 safe places to play, supported 125 programs that impact youth athletes, and deliver opportunities to train more than 15,000 coaches, making an overall impact on more than 100,000 youth. More of that, please.
Yeah. More of that, please. Yes, and especially that, like, we're in 2020 and it is a hard time for everyone. Like, the fact that they're doing it this year is huge.
Perfect.
And, straight just for the people.
Absolutely.
Community building, huge.
Agreed.
Yeah.
More of that, please. Big ups to our Under Armour family. Big ups to Steph Curry. Ties to Toronto. Ties to Canada. Big love. Next up. Previously in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap the latest happenings in our sneaker lives. And so to not be shown up by anyone, I have nothing for me this week. This is the first week, in a while that I have had nothing. So I'm gonna just shout out to my life because it's been half decent recently. So I'm gonna take that. Yeah. I'm gonna take it as a W. Alvin, anything for you in the last week?
Yes. And I think that a World United pair came in. The ones that were the same color as the linen.
Yes.
Super clean, bro. Like, I know we talk so much crap about WL, that guy we don't want to talk about, but like, I don't know. I feel like this pair's a little bit different just because of the messaging that they're trying to portray, especially the times that we're in. And I love that little heart instead of a swoosh and that heart there, and then just on the back heel tab it says "Be United." So be on one foot, united on the other one. It's a dope message. Your materials are crazy. The leather is plush or supple or very, very smooth, and like it's just good materials. And glad I got a pair. And then what else? Queen Mike, aka Jumping In With 2 Feet, hit me up Sunday morning because the Infreds released last week, and I struck out like crazy. But Kuya Mike, being the good older cousin that he is, kept an eye out on Foot Locker and actually got to score a pair on Sunday evening or Monday morning.
Damn.
Nice. That's big.
That's huge. Yeah. I was so crushed because I was like, okay, whatever. It's fine. My 2010s look DS. I don't care. I don't need them. And then Kuya Mike came through clutch and always in clutch. So shout out to Kuya Mike. And I think that's it from me, man.
That's sick. I like that.
Well, to go on your point, I didn't catch the WL part. Can you please spell that out?
Warren Loser.
And on like the fire red part, one of my boys, Jordan, he like when these just surfaced, he texted me instantly. He's like, "Yo, can you please try to help me get these? This is my grail." And like, I feel so bad. I completely forgot about it. Did not help him. But he scored a pair at Sam to back. So
nice.
Let's go. I was really happy to see that happen.
Friends of the show.
Really fun to.
Shout out to Sam to back, yo.
Yeah.
That's
good
dope.
Guys. And I was really happy to see like one of my friends get his grail. It's a great feeling, as much as it is for yourself.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, a lot more people need to learn to appreciate other people's pickups as much as their own. And I will add, Alvin, for me, I agree that the a World United pair hit a little bit different, obviously, a lot different than the Warren Loser pair, just because like you said, there's a different cause behind it. It's not a money grab. Like, I'm sure there's some profit to be made with anything you sell on this planet, but the whole messaging behind it is a lot different than like Warren Lotus saying like, "Oh, look at my cool swoosh on this really classic pair. Give me $300 US or whatever." Like, there's a big difference behind the two. As we mentioned when we talked about the Warren Load, whatever his name is last time, it is a fine line, and it is hard to skate it and pick which side everything goes on. But I definitely agree with you that the a World United custom, if you're not familiar with it, check out their Instagram. I believe it's just a World United, United UNTD, or Sneak Prints on Instagram. Take a look. Let us know what you think. But or check Alvin's Instagram. I'm sure in the next couple of days, I'm sure he'll post them. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that front. Joel, any pickups for you in the last week?
That's a negative, sir.
I should have let you go after me. I apologize.
I know, double negative. I'll make up for it.
Okay, great. Jay, what do you got for us?
Cool.
All right. Well, number one was the I know they released it a while back, but I got them this weekend. The Bape Undefeated collab, the black pair, black and gum.
Nice.
I got to be honest, I really wasn't a fan when I first saw them, and I was like, I'm gonna take a skip. I'm gonna take a skip on both colors. But then you know what? I changed my mind. I wanted the green one. Boom! They don't ship to Canada anymore.
Nope.
Oh, damn. Oh. Yeah, I should have jumped the gun when Alvin sent me a link, but you know, life happens, and I skipped. But Adidas in Montreal still had the black pair, and they've been sitting like no one was really interested in them, and no one knew they had them. So I was like,
"Jeez,
I'm on my way, fams." Picked those up, took some dope pics, and I just love those. Those are such a comfortable shoe, and I think they're made a little bit different compared to the other 8000s. I didn't look where they were manufactured, but like just the shape in general, it's more Japanese. And I have to say, they're a lot comfier than my other pairs, which is like, I don't really get it, but like you feel the boost more, and just the shape itself is like, it hugs my foot in a good way. Yeah. And also like on the side of the tongue, it has elastics. That's a big bonus. Yeah. The tongue doesn't move. Loose laces. That's how we like it.
Oh, right, he's already jumping into a 21 questions question. Interesting. What else? You got more. He's got more. What else you got?
Yeah. The Jonah Hill Superstar.
Oh, I've been eyeing those, bro.
Fat laces.
Big old fatties.
Crazy. These are bananas. I really liked these when they came out, but, you know, honestly, I think they were 170 or 150, and that's just like too much for a Superstar for me to pay retail. But this weekend, Livestock was having their Black Friday sale and scooped these up for like $58 shipped.
Damn.
There was like a size 9 and 11 left, and I was like,
damn.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love the stitching on it. There's like, it looks like a 2-year-old wrote Superstar on here, but like it works. And Jonah Hill, and like Jonah Hill has great movies, and like as I was growing up in high school, 21 Jump Street was my favorite movie. And Superbad, bro. Super.
How could you not? Yeah.
Yeah, I really like Jonah Hill's like creative style too, and now that he brought out the Sambas, I found that's really sick. Like one thing about the shoe is like the fat laces, right? You can't tie this like a normal shoe, left over right, outside in. And I was so confused on how to retie my shoes, and I was just baffled before I got into the podcast. But what I did is I took the excess laces, took out the insole, just stuffed them under the insole, put the insole back, and honestly, it works. You don't really feel the laces, and they look dope. So I'm really happy about them.
Interesting. Yep. I might have to try that. That's dope. How do you feel about the Sambas? Do you like the Superstars more or the Sambas more from Jonah Hill?
I don't have the Sambas in hand, so it's hard to say. Even though the Sambas look dope, and I'm so happy he made a Samba followed by a Superstar, Samba is actually the Adidas's oldest model. A lot of people think it's the Superstar, but the Samba came out in like 1953, I think. Jeez. And it's been around ever since then. And for Jonah Hill to make it on a Samba, I find that super dope. There's no other way I would have put it. And just the one color entire shoe, I find that really sick. Yeah. The only thing is, for me, I don't find Sambas that comfortable. It's a little too tight of a shoe for me. But in a way, I think I heard this actually, but I'm not sure if it's true. These ones are made a little bit wider because Jonah wanted to fit his foot better, so it is a little bit constructed differently. I don't know if this is true or not, but this is what I've heard around, and I hope it's true because it's going to allow a lot of people to wear them, which is sick.
Absolutely. He is a bigger guy, so I'm sure he has a wider foot as well. Great. Is that it for you? No more pickups, right? You're done?
Not yet. Maybe tomorrow.
Okay, we'll have you back on tomorrow.
Once you listen to this, yesterday.
Yeah. He picked up a pair of shoes yesterday. Check his Instagram. Next up, thumbs up, thumbs down. In this part of the show, we give our opinions on various sneaker-related topics with zero context or discussion. All we're allowed to say is thumbs up or thumbs down. And we have our Adidas family here in J-Lo's. And obviously, it has to be an Adidas-related thumbs up, thumbs down question. And this is more directed at, so the question in question is Boost in sportswear models, but more so like full Boost conversions. So I'm talking like the Superstar Boost where it's a full Boost outsole, Stan Smith Boost where it's a full Boost outsole, not necessarily the ZX line where they've been kind of sprinkling in Boost just for comfort. I mean the full Boost conversion of traditional sportswear shoes. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Joel.
Down.
Alvin.
Up.
I am down. Jay.
Thumbs down.
Well, I guess Alvin is incorrect then. Next up, NSR, not sneaker related. We talk about sneakers a lot, so in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant to the world of sneakers and This is kind of a fun one. It might take a little bit of thought, but you don't have time for that because we only have 30 seconds. My question to you guys is, if you could have a wrestler-style intro theme song, what song would it be and why? So maybe like waking up in the morning, this is like your theme song, walking in, whatever. Maybe you are a wrestler and you're walking into the ring, or maybe we're talking about it on the podcast, whatever it is. I'll start it so you guys have a little bit longer. I'm going to go with not a song I would traditionally listen to every day, but Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Like just the guitar riff at the beginning, like that's the perfect like little bit of like calm before it, like the whole thing comes in and you just like crash through whatever, like Stone Cold Steve Austin through the glass kind of thing. So I'm going to go with Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Joel, what about you?
Okay, go to the next person.
Alvin, what are you going with? I feel like you're looking at your phone to make sure you get the name song right.
There is no name song for it, but it was. I would have picked like the NWO Wolfpack intro.
Oh, okay.
With like when like Conan and like Rey Mysterio and all those cats would come out.
Oh no!
It was just gangster and just wanted to like got you hyped, you know, like I'm ready.
Yeah.
So
ready to go crazy.
Absolutely.
I could use that in the morning because I am not ready in the morning.
So. Jay, what about you? Intro theme song to your life.
I wish we could talk about this more because I have crazy stories, but Darude Sandstrom.
Oh, I love
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love that he had it ready.
Yeah.
It's my drinking song. I chug beers to this. I play Call of Duty to this. I listen to this almost every day.
Oh, my God. I can't. The only thing is I can't imagine like driving in my car like Monday morning and listening to that and just like being in traffic like it just doesn't. I don't know if it would.
You put that on?
I would get a lot of road rage listening to that. I get too excited. Joel, you've had time to think about it now.
All right, so it is called Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Yes, that's a great song.
Fantastic choices. It is a masterpiece.
Yes.
Fantastic choices all around. I wish I thought of that one, actually. That's a great answer. All right, that's about 30 seconds. No more time. We'll talk about it more later. Next up, just something really quickly to promote. As Jay so lovingly mentioned at the very, 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 very top of the episode, it is right now episode 149. So that means next week is the big 150. True to Size 150. So obviously, I mean, True to Size 100 was a huge one for us. We had 9 guests on. We did a big in-person thing. We recorded the whole thing. Phil brought a cake. It was a big fun time. True to Size 100 was super fun. We obviously cannot do that this time. But something we've been brainstorming that we're not even sure is going to work, but we're probably going to end up trying it anyways, is doing a live broadcast in a sense. So what we're thinking is anybody who's interested in tuning in we would just kind of send out a Zoom invite. So you guys could watch me, Alvin, and Joel, and our guest, who I'm going to introduce in a second. And we would mute all you guys because we don't want any outbursts. But because we would record it and still release it regularly. But if someone wanted to jump in, we would do maybe like a hold up a piece of paper to the camera situation, so we could see that you wanted to be unmuted for something. And we could then like unmute you. You could kind of chime in. We'd remute you, and we could kind of continue the whole podcast. No real limit. I think Zoom or all these things have like unlimited guests. So however many people wanted to join in could. I did reach out to who we were hoping to have on, and he said he is available. So next week, for the first time since I think episode 14 or 13, we're going to have Net Magnetism on by himself.
Hey.
Nice.
Bro.
We did have him on for True to Size 100, but that obviously was not a solo thing. So it's been, 2 years since we've had him on by himself. So I'm sure there's updates he has to share with us. We can take questions because it will be a live situation. So yeah, let us know your thoughts on that. If you're interested in us doing some sort of live broadcast, it will feature Net Magnetism next week for True to Size 150. So please make sure to tune in when we iron out all the kinks. Next up, errors, edits, and e-messages. We are pretty smart guys, but from time to time we make mistakes. So if you catch us slipping, hit us in the DM and we'll let the world know that we goofed. And as I said at the top, somebody submitted a double EEE. He was like, I found a mistake, and then later on in the day, actually I think a day later, he was like, I found another mistake. So this one comes from Mr. Deadstock. And he says...
Hold up, Lawrence?
Okay, yeah.
I just want to touch on the Zoom thing a little. I know it's a little bit late, but yeah, I think that's an amazing idea. It'll get like a lot of people to experience this when they usually don't. Even if they're just watching, it can be a lot of fun to have a live audience for you guys. And also, I think Zoom has a 300-person limit. I'm not 100% sure. And if you don't have the pro version, it's a 40-minute. It only lasts for 40 minutes.
We're going to end up having to pay for it for the month of December. We'll ball out and we'll pay the $15, I suppose. And it would be great to have 300 people here, but I highly doubt 300 people will join us. That would be sick. Yeah. If there's 300 people, that would be dope. But I don't know if we'll get to that point. If we have 3 people, I think it'll be fun. But either way, as I was saying, Mr. Deadstock, which is a really cool name, he says, great episode as usual on the podcast. Just an EEE on the Walking Dead part, because we talked about the zombie apocalypse last week. He says the bad guy with the leather jacket and a bat is named Negan? I don't know if did I not get that far?
Negan.
Okay, I guess I didn't get that far in the show. And he says the other villain with the eye patch is the governor, not the commissioner. So apparently I don't know anything about The Walking Dead. Apologies. Then, as I said, later on, like a day or two later, he was like, oh, that wasn't enough. I need to hit you with more facts. He says, hi, I forgot to point this out last week. There's an EEE on episode 147 on the How Much Is That segment. He says the women's UNC patent leather pair is called Blue Chill, not Wind Chill.
Oh, I think the Wind Chill was the Reebok.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The Iverson.
Question.
Iverson, yeah.
You're right. Yeah. I apologize, Mr. Deadstock, for offending apparently the biggest Walking Dead fan in Canada. I do apologize. And our second EEE comes from Manuel Fresh 85, our homie out in Chicago. Kuya Manny. He says, the homies call me Manny. So we were wondering, what kind of, was this Manuel? We didn't know. We now know it's Manny. He is Spanish. He says, I appreciate the shout out, but man, you guys need to take a CGS trip to Chicago. We have Chicago-style hot dogs, Chicago-style deep dish pizza, and some of the best Italian beef. It will change your life. If you guys ever make it, if you ever make it out here, you for sure have a place to stay. Boom.
Oh, that's nice.
Boom. I hope.
I actually really want to go to Chicago. I mean, I'm not part of you guys for CGS, but like just in general.
You're going to have to ask Manny.
Yeah. I'll
you have to check in first.
Take me somewhere where they consider hot dogs as a sandwich. So,
I've been to Chicago and I've had the deep dish pizza. It's insane. Like, I was there with one other person. It was just 2 of us, and we ordered like a medium deep dish pizza and some wings. Wings did not even get touched, like not even a little bit. Maybe a slice and a half of pizza for me. Someone who could probably body 5, like a small or medium pizza on any regular day. That is no joke. That's deep dish pizza is no fucking joke.
What is a deep dish pizza?
It's literally just like an inch thick of toppings instead of like this much. So it's still the same amount of crust, I believe, but you just have more sauce, more cheese, more meat, and it's like an inch thick. It's fat.
All right, so literally a deep dish pizza. Okay.
Yeah. It is quite a self-explanatory name when you think about it. Yeah.
Did you eat it with your hands or a fork knife?
I did with my hands. If I do recall, it was a couple years ago. It's heavy. It's girthy. It's a two-hander. It's no playing around with that. You don't need any dip. Dip would you can't. It's too much already. And I love my pizza. We're gonna talk too much about pizza now. Anyways, next up, the reason everyone is here, the reason we are here, we have a guest who is here for the first time, and our good friend Jay Lowe's. Before I get into anything, Jay, I will admit on behalf of all 3 of us, the entire time we have known you virtually, we've called you Jay Lowe's. And Alvin Alvin literally had to message the group chat and say, just so you know, it's not Laos. Probably mostly because we both knew we would have to rhyme something with your last name. And also so we didn't mispronounce your name for an hour and a half.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, I'm glad you did it. I would have been calling him Jay Laos up until now.
Really, thanks for asking.
Still mentally, I call you Jay Laos. I won't lie, but it did kind of blow my mind a little bit that it wasn't Laos, but I respect the actual pronunciation.
For real.
All right. So, as we mentioned, it is Jay's first time here, and as such, he gets run through both of our games, and the first of which is 21 questions. Jay, you know how this works. It's 21 questions, back to back to back.
Yep.
Just give us the first question that pops into your mind. There are no right answers, but there are also no wrong answers. Are you ready?
Let's do this. Yep. Do you guys know the record for this speed run?
The speed run. I'm going to say that no one is very fast at this. So maybe
I've actually been rehearsing this for the past 2 or 3 days.
See,
I've been ready.
The problem is here that the questions can change and they will stump you. I promise you will not know the answers to all these questions.
Yeah, it's true. I am pretty young, so.
Question number 1. I'm sure we all know the answer. Question number 1, air or boost?
Boost.
Question number 2, crew socks or no shows?
Crew.
Question number 3, red or blue?
Red.
Question number 4, pineapple on pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Question number 5, spell pineapple.
Sorry?
Question number 5, spell pineapple.
Pineapple. That
was... I'm not going to lie to you. That wasn't even a question, but I just thought it might stump you. Question number 6, what is your shoe size?
9. US 9.
Oh, samesies. Question number 7, laces tied tight in a bow or hanging and loose?
Loose.
Absolutely. Question number 8, who painted the Mona Lisa?
Leonardo da Vinci.
That's correct. I gave you the answer earlier on. That was I made sure to say it earlier. Question number 9, favorite sneaker brand other than Adidas?
Adidas Originals.
No. Incorrect.
This guy's cheating.
Try again.
Nike, I guess.
he hated saying that. Question number 11. What is today's date?
December 3rd, 2020.
Question number 12. Who is the most influential person in sneakers right now?
PJ Tucker.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Oh,
yeah, definitely. Okay. Question number 13. Superstar or Stan Smith?
Superstar, all the way.
Question number 14. Adidas Yeezy or Nike Yeezy?
Oh, wow. This could go so many ways. It really depends, but... wow. On a culture standpoint and a visual standpoint, I have to say Nike Yeezy.
Aha. We made him 1, get stumped, and 2, say Nike. Question again. Yeah. Question number 15. What is going to be your next sneaker purchase?
XZ0006.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. Tomorrow/yesterday. Question number 16. Why do sharks live in salt water?
Oh, wow.
The answer, because pepper makes them sneeze. Question number 17. Which sneaker do you wear the most?
ZX 8000 Aqua.
Easy. I think you mentioned that earlier. Question number 18. Yeah. How many hours are there in a year?
114,000.
8,760. You're very close.
Oh, wow.
Question number 19. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No. Absolutely not. You know why? Because the bread is connected. For it to be a sandwich, there has to be 2 slices of bread. However, if you do break both, if you break the bread, it becomes a sandwich.
Interesting.
But ideally, it's not.
Okay. I I accept that. There's a lot of different. I love all the different opinions on this very hot topic. Question number 20. What is your number one grail?
ZX 8000 Goodfoot from AZX 2008.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yes,
That's a great one. Question number 21. Would you rather receive your number one grail or 3 other pairs from your top 10?
So because my number one grail is like a biodegradable shoe, if it was produced yesterday, it would be that shoe. However, if it was produced in 2007 or 8, I would have to take the 3.
That's fair enough. I accept that answer. We usually don't let you play both sides, but that's acceptable. All right. You did half decent. You clearly were rehearsing on 21 questions, and I do respect you for rehearsing. But now it's time for an even harder game, our newest game. Joel?
How much is that?
That's right. How much is that? All we do, we give you 2 or more sneakers, and you have to tell us which of the 2 is more expensive based on the last sold price on StockX in a size 9. Are you ready, Jay?
Yep.
All right. Have you been studying?
Well, for this, I've heard about it, but no, there's millions of shoes.
You're gonna wish you studied. It is, I will tell you though, an Adidas filled how much is that segment, so you may have a chance.
Okay.
So the first pair of how much is that? Adidas Yeezy Boost 750 OG Gray, the very first pair of 750s. Great shoe, iconic shoe now, years later.
Yeah.
Versus...
Is it the glow-in-the-dark version or no?
Well, there was a glow-in-the-dark version?
Yeah.
Whatever the first...
would glow in the dark.
The first one. The very first one that came out All-Star Weekend. I don't think that was the glow-in-the-dark version.
I don't think so either.
Okay.
But...
Versus 3 pairs of Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Beluga. The first Belugas. The first V2 Beluga...
Which Beluga? The first Beluga?
The first Beluga.
3 pairs.
Versus the Adidas Yeezy Boost 750
3 pairs of those
OG.
in size 9.
You're taking the 3 pairs.
No. Has to be the 750. That sold for like probably $3,000.
Final answer?
Yep.
Okay. As we do. Alvin is stressed, as we do. We do the one you did not choose first, and that would be 3 pairs of Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 V2 Beluga, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The last sold price of 1 pair was $1,037.
What?
Holy!
In a size 9 dead stock.
These are restocking.
So,
or rumored to.
I like that he had to throw in the caveat because he's not sure if that information is public yet. Question times 3, $1,037 times 3 is $3,111. It seems as though Jay is not as confident anymore in his answer, but
I'm like pretty close though.
The last sold price of an Adidas Yeezy Boost 350 in the original gray colorway. All-Star Weekend. The first...
750.
750. I apologize. On the spot. The last sold price, size 9, dead stock, on StockX, is $2,748.
Oh.
We got you.
Yeah. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
All right. As we say, the first one doesn't matter. It's the buzzer beater that matters. So this is the only one you need to get right for anyone to remember how you did. This is where your story will be. This is where your story will be told. This is what they will write books about. The first one
ends after this.
Exactly. Well, we'll see how you do. It might. The first one, the Adidas NMD R1 with Bape in green camo. Also a crazy when that shoe released, the world exploded. Every single Adidas store was looted. Every single one.
Dude, Vancouver had to push back the release. Actually, I think they canceled it. Yeah, it was just bananas.
Yeah, that was an insane release. That was the peak hype of Adidas NMD, and they collaborated with Bape. What a crazy shoe. Mm-hmm. Still a good shoe.
For $170 retail.
Yep.
What a perfect price point.
You gotta love that. Versus another Bape sneaker, the Adidas Ultra Boost Bape in green camo. We want to know, Alvin,
how much is that?
Which one is more... That was really aggressive. How much? Which one has the higher sold price last sold price in a size 9 dead stock on StockX?
Oh, man.
Bape NMD.
He said that with so much confidence, almost the same amount of confidence as he had in the first answer. Let's see how he did. The last sold price of an Adidas Ultra Boost with Bape in green camouflage, $382 Canadian. Not bad.
I can cop that right now.
Not bad considering retail was probably around $300, I would assume. Versus
something like that.
Versus the Adidas NMD R1 with Bape, green camouflage. Last sold price on StockX in size 9. Dead stock is $770. Jay, you've done it. You've shocked the world. You've come back from down.
Let's go.
Fantastic. Can you tell how excited everyone is? Everyone is cheering for you in their vehicles now as they listen to this podcast. They're saying, Jay.
Honks.
Respect, fam.
Yeah, they're honking. Yeah. It's basically the same as the Raptors championship celebration, except for not even close to that. So, before we get into a couple more questions about your photography and about Adidas, we do this thing called the Soulography, and it's just a little bit of sneakerhead history from you. And we want to know first, in your Soulography, Jay, what got you into sneakers in the first place? I know you said it was kind of recent, which is totally fine because your passion and knowledge far exceeds how long you've been into it in the first place.
Straight up.
But what got you into sneakers in the first place?
Well, first, it was working at Reebok. It was my first job. I was 16, but I went into there wearing Beat Vans, Beat DC shoes, and just want to touch up on how I actually got there was completely random. I was out with my dad, and he was shopping for shoes at, I think it was a Global shoe store or something, and there was a shoe on display, and like the boxes underneath it did not correspond whatsoever. So I was like, oh, I'll just look at the code and like find it, and I found it, and I was like, yo, that'd be so much fun to work in a shoe store. So fast track, worked at Reebok, met my boy Brandon, and he's the one who just dropped the bomb on me. And it was cool because like he was into sneakers, but not that much. So we kind of grew together, like bouncing off each other with like what was cool and what was not cool. And yeah, he kind of taught me the ways through the warehouse sale. There was a bunch of ZX, including the ZX Flux Xeno, and like what a perfect shoe to be there at that time to like get me into shoes, because I know you guys don't know me from like a long time ago, but like the colors I would wear in like grade 7 and 8 were bananas. Like look behind you guys at your shoe boxes, put all of those colors into clothing, and that's what I was wearing. And it was pathetic. People made fun of me, but I was like, you know what? You guys are dressed in black. You're depressing. I'm not depressing. That's what it is. And fast track to that, Brandon introduced me to Alex, introduced me to Adidas, and it kind of just stumbled on from there, grew from there. And at the same time, I had gotten a camera as a graduation present. So photography plus sneakers made my passion even grow more. And truly, honestly, maybe without photography, I probably would not be into sneakers anymore. It's kind of like my creative outlet to like really appreciate my shoes. It's just a different thing to like look at your shoe in hand and then take a picture of it and then edit it. It's really great. And yeah, my first hype for it was ZX. My ZX hype is continuing. That's truly always what I will like. And yeah.
So
that's kind of it.
You kind of touched on it, but I just want to know if this is going to be your answer. What's kind of keeping you into sneakers now? Like we talk all the time about how difficult it is being a sneakerhead in 2020, based on how much it costs, based on competition, based on a ton of different things. What's keeping you into sneakers now these years later?
Okay, so there's a couple things. Photography is one of them. However, I do also street photography now, so like I don't really need shoes to appreciate it. It has to be the discounts. Like, I still have my boys at Adidas who like help me out a lot, and like I can't express enough how much I appreciate it, because as a student, just paying retail for everything is almost impossible. Mm-hmm. And having like all the ZX series and recent releases and just like all the retros that are coming out, I'm like, damn, these are dope. And then like I get assisted. Sometimes I pay retail if I really have to, and that's kind of it. I guess it's pretty much thanks to them. Yeah.
Huh. I wish my reason for staying into sneakers was because I could get them at a discount. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
So aside from the obvious of like you started your career basically working for Adidas/Reebok. Why is it still Adidas? Why is Adidas like where you put all your money? Why is Adidas where the passion lies?
It's hard to say. There's not a clear answer. I think just as a person in general, I'm very like a brand loyalist. Like for example, like a Canon camera. Realistically, I really want to try a Sony camera. They look really great, but I will never switch the brands. Same with like kind of Xbox. I'm not going to switch from Xbox. It's kind of like the way I am. So I think that plays a big factor into it. And also just the fact that they really build on history. And I find that so cool. Also, actually, I'm descended from Germans. Like my mom's side is German mainly. And like, it's just a really cool connection to have, and yeah, that's kind of like my answer. It's a little bit of everything.
It's a match made in heaven. Then how lovely.
Yeah.
So unlike like we've had several other Adidas brand loyalists on the podcast, all of them I'm sure you know. But unlike some of them, you do kind of dabble into other things from time to time. I've seen you post up in a pair of Nigels. I think I've seen you in a pair of Black Toes. Like there is some pairs that you will kind of venture out for. So when you are venturing outside of Adidas, like outside of your comfort zone, we'll say, what do you look for in that pair when you're buying something else?
A little bit of everything, I guess. Let's say for the Black Toe, for example, what got me is The Last Dance. That's what got so many people. But watching The Last Dance was a great experience for me because I watched it with my dad. We watched it together as a series. And just seeing those shoes on feet, I was like, damn, those are sick.
Hell yeah.
And at this time, I was getting into like a kind of a Jordan hype. And I was like, wow, these are dope, but they're so expensive. So yeah, I ended up paying quite a bit of money for those Black Toes, actually. My most expensive shoe. However, I had the Stussy times Nike Spirit Uncaged 2.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I ended up having 2 pairs of those somehow, and I sold both of them, sold 3 other pairs of shoes, and then bought those Black Toes.
Nice,
so
that's the way to do it.
Yeah, those are dope. I only have Black Toes and Nigels.
Okay, so I named both of the Jordans that you own. Okay,
and the Nigels, they were just dope. Like the first summer I started working for where I'm working now was when I started to like make real money, and I was like, yo, I can afford these expensive Jordans. Let's do it. I had like 5-6 pairs of them. Ended up getting rid of all of them. Only have the Nigel still because I won I didn't win the raffle, but they dropped on Nike.ca, and the release had bugged at first. I stayed up till 3 a.m. and the release bugged, and I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna go to bed. I go to my bed, just like, you know what, I'll just check on my phone one last time. The sizes load, check out, boom. I get them for retail, and
damn,
they're just so cool. The scratching off aspect to it is so cool, and that he has nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah.
A BMXer who wears Jordans, Nike was like, yo, let's collab.
Absolutely. It's such a cool,
awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we need. Yeah.
I love that shoe. I still want a pair of those shoes. I always forget about them. It's one of those, like I said, one of those shoes that kind of flies under the radar. Like it's not the massive hype, but it's just hype enough. I love that. Damn, I love that shoe.
The colorway is bananas. Also,
insane.
The letter is impeccable.
Impeccable. Woo!
Yeah, impeccable. I wish I had my pair with me so I can show you guys, but the leather literally does not crease. It just doesn't.
That's the BMX. That's perfect. So you've kind of alluded to it a couple times now, but what kind of got you started in the photography game? Because if anyone's unfamiliar with his Instagram, he takes a lot of pictures, and I will say, I was surprised when I scrolled through at how many photos are not taken by you, but they are taken by your gracious girlfriend. So we do have to shout her out.
Shout out Annie.
Yeah, shout out Annie because she kills it. And I was like, oh, this guy's a good photographer. And I was like, wait, is he a good photographer? And I was like, okay, yeah, he is. I had to make sure. But what kind of got you started in photography?
It was completely by accident, honestly. It was in my 5th year of high school. Here we only have 5 years of high school. I know you guys have 6, but yeah, grade 11.
Only 4.
4.
9, 10, 11, 12 for us.
Oh. Okay. That's weird. Anyways, yeah. So grade 11, I was in chemistry and physics, and like all my friends were not, and I saw them having fun, having time to do stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna switch out of chem. I'll do it at another time. And the only other option was photography, and at the time, I thought photography was kind of like a girly thing, but I did it anyways. Ended up not liking the course too much, but it was still pretty fun. And then my parents gifted me a DSLR for my graduation present. And it kind of just started from there, taking pics of my shoes at first, and I was god awful. I was super bad. And now
we all are, man.
Pictures, and I'm like, wow. But yeah, and it's really fun to see like how I grew from there. That's kind of how it started. And then in college, I was in a program for like filmmaking and photography. Basically, the program was really bad. I hated it, so I switched out and just continued it as a hobby. And
sounds like Jay just hates school.
Yeah, school sucks, but I'm in university and I'm going to be a teacher.
Hey, shout out to all the teachers. Yeah. Shout out to all the teachers. All right. So last thing before we let you go, this has been a fun episode, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us. Give all the folks at home, if you can, just pick one. Give them one photography tip, sneaker photography tip. What's one thing you make sure all your pictures has? What's one thing you always want to make sure you do when you're taking a picture of a pair of shoes? Give everybody your pro photography sneaker tip now.
Lighting. Post-processing, editing is a huge factor in it. And once you understand your editing tool, you're going to be able to do anything in Lightroom or whatever you use. And yeah, it's basically that. Like a lot of times, even though Annie is the one taking the pictures, like we do it as a team together. Like I'm more like the tech savvy, so I set up the camera, and then she comes up with the ideas, and then just the magic happens in Lightroom. And yeah, just out and practice.
Yep. Get out and practice. I think you cut out, but he said, get out and practice. That's correct. I didn't realize how bad the photo could be. How bad the photo could be, and then you just make it better in post afterwards. A lot of my pictures look like shit at first, and after as well, but I just fix them in
not true.
In the apps. No, chill. I remember one of the days I felt the best, my highest confidence was when Jay DM'd me and he was like, "What camera do you use?" And I was like, "My phone." And I
was shook.
And I felt really good about I felt really good about myself. Jay, thank you for being here, man. We appreciate it. This was mad fun. Like we said, your passion and your knowledge and all that thing was like electric. All you Adidas guys are great. We love all you guys. Thank you so much for being here, man.
Respect, man. Also, after you told me that it was on a phone, I bought an iPhone 11 Pro.
Oh my God.
And Apple, literally like a week after.
Apple, cut the check, man. Like, I don't know what more I can do for you. I am hashtag influencing for free over here. I just need to, holy shit. All right, Jay, like I said, thank you for being here, and thank you to everyone who has supported and or been a part of the podcast. Wherever you're taking in the episode, please leave a comment, review, follow, and or subscribe. We've got a Facebook group we use as a forum, sell stuff, and connect with you guys called CGS Talk. You can find it on facebook.com/groups/cgs.talk. We've also got a website we use for reviews, recap stories, and much, 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 much more. Do not, of course, forget to use hashtags Canada Got Soul and CGS to 2021 for a feature on Instagram. I have been Lawrence Hopkins. You can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
I'm Joel Hernandez. You can find me at Joe Dooney, JO_D3OsNEY.
My name's Alvin Quincy, and you can find me at MISTERQ and then Mar.
And Jay, tell the good people where they can find you. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's all good. You can find me on Instagram at JayLauz, JAYLAUZ.
Boom.
Remember, December 12th and 13th, double entries.
Boom. Look at that. Jeez. See, he found out today he was getting a pair, and now he's all gung-ho about promoting it.
So excited. Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for listening to us talk about sneakers for 149 episodes, and please remember to rock your kicks. This has been True to Size. We have been CGS and JayLauz, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.
J-Lo's no J-Lo. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, yo.
That was so
That
good,
was so much fun.
Thanks, man.